Every morning, before the sun fully rose, a drum played. Not loud, not dramatic, just a steady, quiet rhythm. People heard it as they walked by on their way to work or to the market. Some ignored it completely, lost in their own thoughts. Some wondered for a moment who was playing and why, but quickly moved on. Almost no one ever stopped, but the drum played daily, without fail. In this quiet, unassuming town lived a man named Arun. He wasn't famous, he wasn't particularly wealthy. By most accounts, he wasn't extraordinary in any way, but every single morning, Arun would sit on the small porch outside his home, place an old worn drum on his lap, and begin to play. It was always the same rhythm: tap, tap, pause, tap, day after day after day. It didn't matter if it was pouring rain or blistering hot. It didn't matter if his heart was full of joy or heavy with sorrow. The drum played. People would sometimes ask him, "Arun, why do you play the exact same beat every single day?" And every time, Arun would offer a gentle smile and say, "Because today still needs it." At first, the children in the town thought it was funny. They'd giggle and ask each other, "Why does he never change the tune?" The local shopkeepers would shake their heads in mild disapproval. What good does that do? He could be doing something useful with his time. Even some of the town elders would whisper amongst themselves, feeling he was wasting his days on a pointless habit. But Arun kept playing. You see, the drum wasn't for applause. It wasn't for money, and it certainly wasn't for attention. It was for something much more profound. It was for consistency. One morning, a young boy named Kiran happened to stop. He had just failed his exams. Again, he felt a heavy weight on his chest, a mix of shame and a sense of being completely and utterly lost. As he stood there, the sound of the drum reached him steady, unhurried, and calm. Tap, tap, pause, tap. Without really knowing why, Kiran sat down on the curb across the street and just listened. After a while, he gathered the courage to walk over and ask, "Why don't you ever stop?" Arun looked at the boy, his eyes kind, and answered, "Because stopping once makes stopping easier tomorrow." That answer stuck with Kiran. He returned the next day, and the day after that. As he listened, he started to notice something strange. The drum beat never ever changed, but he did. On the days he felt weak and defeated, the steady rhythm of the drum felt strong and reassuring. On the days he felt confident and proud, the drum beat felt calm and grounding. Arun, seeing the boy return each morning, finally explained the secret. "This drum," he said, tapping it lightly, "reminds me that small actions done daily build a life. It's the foundation." Years passed. Kiran grew into a young man. He was stronger now, more disciplined. He learned to study every day, not just before exams. He worked every day, putting in the effort consistently. He still failed. Sometimes life is like that, but he learned to return the next day and try again. And through all those years, the drum still played. Tap, tap, pause, tap, It had become a part of the town's morning routine, as reliable and expected as the sunrise itself. People no longer mocked it. In fact, they found comfort in it. They expected it. Then, one morning, the town woke up to a profound silence. There was no drum. A strange feeling of unease settled over the streets. Shops seemed to open a little slower. People's steps felt heavier, their morning greetings a little less certain. Kiran felt the silence like a physical blow and ran straight to Arun's house. He found the old man in bed, looking frail. The drum lay still in the corner. Arun had grown too weak to play. Kiran sat beside him, his heart aching. Arun managed a weak whisper, "The drum doesn't matter. The habit does. The consistency, that's what matters." The very next morning, a drum played again. Tap, tap, pause, tap. It wasn't perfect. The rhythm was a little hesitant, not quite as confident as before. But it was there. It was consistent. People stopped in the street. They listened. This time it was Kiran, sitting on the porch, the old drum in his lap. He was keeping the beat. The drum played daily. Great lives aren't built in a few loud, dramatic moments. They are built quietly, through repetition. One small action, repeated every single day. It's about showing up when you don't feel like it. It's about taking that one small step, again and again. So be the one who keeps the beat in your own life. Because what you practice daily, what you commit to without fanfare or applause, eventually becomes who you are. Thank you for listening. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more.